Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Inside Berm Weekly. I am your host, the host with the most, Jake Keel, the voice of Southern Oklahoma Speedway, as it were. And we're back. We're back here with another great edition of the Inside Berm podcast. And I'm ready. I'm ready to be here. It's been a crazy week. Excuse me. I'm still recovering from this weekend. Great Memorial Day weekend. It was an extra long Memorial Day weekend for me, as I was off Friday to head on down to Southern Oklahoma Speedway, do the announcing there. And then I was off to Salina High Banks the next night. Final mileage for the weekend was 540.4 miles driven. Would have been more if I was on the All-Star Shootout tour for the whole tour, but I just covered the Southern Oklahoma Speedway portion, and then I worked for Joe Duvall in an unexpected call for Saturday. And so let's get into it. We're going to have a lot to talk about today. We've got the weekend recap from where I was. We have got quite a bit of NASCAR news. A big silly season weekend for NASCAR. A big silly season week for NASCAR. And of course, the double that is the rain-drenched double. We'll just put it that way. We'll talk about it. Excuse me. But more. But don't forget our great sponsors, Jake's Dad Carbs, 405-640-6862. All your great carburetor needs for your micro sprints, turf tire, and regular classes alike. Don't forget about Victory Fuel, your flavored electrolyte water, daily vitamins, electrolytes, kid-friendly. There's low sugar, they're caffeine-free, and there's no artificial coloring. It is my drink of choice when I need to get rehydrated. It's a great way to stay rehydrated and stay victorious. Don't forget about Spinebuster brand t-shirts. We've got the Fairground Speedway. We've got some great t-shirts available on our Etsy store and on our TeePublic store. We're doubling down. We've got our hats available. We've got a hat that we're going to be introducing on this show next week, as the countdown to the Mike Peters Memorial is the Freedom 40 Classic is closing in. We're just a little bit over 4 weeks away. So really excited to get there. Spinebuster t-shirts. I've got my Spinebuster hoodie on. I'm very happy to rep this brand and all of that. But let's get started, shall we? Need to pull up Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Oh, yes. Let's talk about Southern Oklahoma Speedway before I get started. What we're going to be doing there this weekend. It's Fan Appreciation Night. Gates open at 5 o'clock, racing at 7. Admission is $15. Kids 6 to 12 are 10. 5 and under are always free, and seniors are $10. Pit pass $30. But this is going to be special because it's going to be Fan Appreciation Night, which means we are going to have an extended intermission so you can meet a bunch of the drivers. Usually we park them all on the front stretch, as you can see down here at the bottom of the poster. You'll be able to meet your favorite drivers without getting a pit pass. They'll be right there at intermission. It's a fun night. It's a really fun night. We'll also be live on imca.tv, and we're going to have those IMCA modifieds, the IMCA stock cars and Southern Sport mods, as well as our hobby stocks, our hobby and factory stocks, and the economy mods live on there. It's going to be a great weekend of racing. The Southern Oklahoma Speedway, man, What a night we had with the All-Star Shootout night number 1. We kicked off the tour with our IMCA Modifieds, the IMCA Stock Cars, and the IMCA Southern Sport Mods. And we'll start with the Stock Cars. 104 entries, I do believe, total. What a weekend it was. What a Friday it was. The Friday night racing was just phenomenal. And it was close. Each and every race was a very close race, except for IMCA Stock Car. Shelby, it's simple. Shelby Williams got out to the lead. He led early and he led often. He led all the way. Green to checkered. Really, there was no doubt in our minds that he was going to win that race. Blake Clark comes home in second. Jason Batt in third. Tommy Fain with a great night, finishing fourth. And Todd Decker going 10th to 5th. We want to mention two hard chargers. They cowboyed up this weekend. Jeremy Bradley, 13th to 6th. And Ryan Abaddon, 21st to 10th, plus 11. What a run for those two drivers. Really good points nights for them. Southern Sport Mods. We had 42 entries in the Southern Sport Mods and had 2 B features, one by Trevor Rooster Cogburn and Brandon Gearin. And Southern Sport Mod, man, Jeff Shepard went 12th to 1st. If that doesn't show you how racy that track was, I don't think anything will. Michael Wingate looked like he was going to have it early, but it just could not hold off Jeff Shepard and Josh Landers. Jeff Shepard went plus 11 to the win. He was so strong. He was so strong all night, and there was really just no stopping him. He just kept going. It's all on IMCA.TV, by the way, if you weren't able to be there. It was a great night of racing. You get to hear mine and the Mississippi Pimp, Toby Lyles' voice on that one. And it was great. It was great to be a part of that. IMCA Modifieds had 44 drivers. I believe 1 B feature. No, 2 B features, excuse me. Chad Melton and Tim Hamilton won those. Tim Hamilton had to drive the wheels off, and he got it done in the B feature. Kyle Wisdom, though, going plus 12, 14th to 2nd in the B feature number 1, was really a standout. And Josh McGahey, plus 13, 16 to 3rd in B feature 2. And then I saw a lot of complaining about the track surface. And here's what I have to say about that. Within the top 6, we had 3 cars that went plus 16. Oh, there we go. There's the haters have been silenced. The haters have been silenced. They were complaining about the track surface on the internet, and there's your proof that we had a very fast track. We had a really, really, really good track that was capable of passing. I mean, Tim Hamilton goes from the B feature to finish 4th. Mason Day from the B feature to 3rd, plus 16, 19 to 3rd. Chris Morris, plus 17 to finish 5th, 22nd to 5th. Cameron Wilson, plus 17, 23rd to 6th. Can we stop complaining about track surface? Especially when the racing is this good. I'm really tired of the complaints about track surface, especially whenever the racing is this good. Guys, what are we complaining about? I saw all over Facebook right after the races, man, it was just top to bottom, around the top, follow the leader. No, it wasn't. The winner went 4th to 1st. Drake Finley. Great run by Drake Finley. Second went 10th to 2nd. Matthew Day. What are we talking about? What are we talking about with track surface? Track surface was bad. No, it wasn't. It was great. We produce this kind of racing. Mason Day, 19th to 3rd, guys. 19th to 3rd. Charles Day finished 12th and still went plus 12. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the complaining. I'm tired of hearing about all these complaints about the track surface was bad because it slicked up. No, it just got technical and the drivers took it into their own hands and they made it happen. That's all I got to say about that. Congrats, Drake Finley, on the win Friday night. He drove his ass off. The Day brothers drove their asses off. Tim Hamilton drove his ass off. Chris Morris, Cameron Wilson. Kyle Wisdom went +7 to finish 8th. Everyone in the top 10, besides 2 drivers, went more than 3 spots to get to their final spot. Troy Schaberg and William Gould both lost a few spots. And that was it, man. People were moving. If you don't like that kind of racing, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. We're going to move on. So I was brought in to call the racing for the USRA Modifieds, the Heartland Modified Tour versus the American Racer Modified Series at Salina High Banks. And it didn't disappoint all night long. Joe Duvall's Funkadelic Dirt Track and Honky Tonk Extravaganza was just that. I'm surprised I was able to say that as easily as I am. But, you know, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of people complaining. And yes, there was controversy this night because Joe Duvall won 5th to 1st. Trevor Hughes 11th to 11 plus 11, 13th to 2nd. But there was complaining about Joe Duvall winning, and it was because he was involved in an accident early on in an avoidance measure, and people thought he should have went to the back. Now, normally that is the case, but USRA has a rule that if you come to a stop or go off the track to avoid an accident, you are able to get your spot back. And that's exactly what Joe Duvall did. He took preventative measures. Yes, he got a lot of damage in the process, but he took preventative measures to miss the wreck and not be part of the caution. And he got his spot back and he went on and win. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. It's in the rule book. If you don't like it, contest to USRA to change the rules. That's all I have to say about it. That's all I have to say about it. I'm on a little bit of a spicy take today. Like, I'm just kind of like, I'm in the mood to rip some people today. But I'm not going to rip this guy. Trevor Hughes, plus 11, 13th to 2nd, drove his ass off. Brendan Gemmel finishing 4th, starting 17th, plus 13. Tate Cole coming from the B feature, plus 14, 22nd to 8th. Man, for people that are complaining about track services, I'm so tired of it, because I heard a lot of people complaining about Salina High Banks this year, how it's how they have bad track prep and they need to do this and that. Cars were moving all night long. Cars were moving. The B features, yeah, the B features were a little bit of a dud. We had trouble passing in the B features, but come feature time, stupendous. And that's what we care about. If you have a problem with the surface in the B feature, maybe you should be faster and not be in a B feature. That's all I have to say about that. I'm done with being a negative Nancy for right now. This was a great night, and I'm so thankful that Eric Chesterman and Joe Duvall brought me in to be a part of this night. It's another notch on my resume that I can put down, and at this point, that's what I'm all about. I'm a loyal person, but I want to add new places on my resume. I want to add new series. And I want to eventually get to that point where I'm a series announcer, because part of that comes with more travel, yes, but it's more time spent at home with my family, and that's what's important to me. So, I'm not at the racetrack every week unless it's at Southern Oklahoma Speedway, and there's reason behind that. Let's move on. We're already 20 minutes in, and I'm on a rant about track prep and people being stupid about complaining about track prep. One last note. Track prep, even in the A features on Southern Oklahoma Speedway, the winner went plus 11, second place went plus 9. They're still moving. Stock car, Shelby Williams was way too powerful for everybody else, but we still had high movers all through the top 10. Plus 11, plus 6, plus 8, plus 7, plus 7, plus 5. That's 5th through 10th, all went more than 5 positions to get to their final finishing spot. Let's move on. NASCAR. We're going to complain a little bit more. The double was this weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, as we all know. The Indy 500, Charlotte 600. It's great. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year. Thank you, Ashley. I'm very excited that I was able to do that. Right now, announcing for me is more about the experiences I get to do. It's not about announcing every week. I would love to announce every week. Southern Oklahoma Speedway has me locked up pretty much every Saturday. But right now, the important thing about my announcing career is I want to experience new tracks and I want to experience new places. And that's... I see the writing on the wall of when my announcing career is going to come to a big time slow. And my daughter is 2. She's already showing interest in racing. She already shows interest in wanting to get behind the wheel. And once that happens, I'm not going to be announcing a lot. And I'm going to be helping her, and because that's more important to me. Let's talk about Indianapolis. So the Indy 500 was a spectacular race. The ending, you couldn't ask for a better ending. There was a change for the lead every single lap, I think, of the last 5. That's how you want to finish a race. Joseph Newgarden picks up his 2nd in a row. Good for him. He deserves it. He's fast. He deserves it. I mean, I wanted to see Pato win it just because the crowd reaction that he got. It would have been a feel-good moment. But, congrats to Joseph Newgarden. Pato it looks like he needed to wait another lap to make that pass. Their strategy was not on point. The delay. So they got delayed 4 hours, nearly 4 hours after the initial start time. And Kyle Larson, the big question was, is Kyle going to stay, or is he going to fly to Charlotte? We obviously knew at that point the double, making all 1,100 miles, was not going to happen. And I think he made the right choice. He sacrificed potential playoff points, potential playoff appearance, by staying in Indy. And he owed it to the IndyCar fans, and he owed it to NASCAR to do this. By doing the Indy 500, he has exposed NASCAR to a completely different audience. And people saw what Kyle Larson can do. Hey, Red, glad you could join us. It's always good to see you, buddy. He showed what a NASCAR driver can do. And Kyle Larson was a threat all month long to win this race. His Sunday performance didn't quite get the expectations, but he finished 18th. He ran in the top 5 almost all day. And if not for a pit road speeding penalty, he probably would have finished up there. The problem with the broadcast is they weren't really saying much about what had happened to him until the race was over. I would have liked them saying, hey, Kyle just had his pit road speeding penalty, and that's going to cost him. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. He got the nerves, he got the bugs out this year. I think he's going to do it again next year. If not next year, it's going to be the year after. Because now Kyle has caught that bug. He has caught that little part of him that makes him want to compete at Indy and compete at a high level, and he's already shown he can do it. Excuse me. And then we get to Charlotte. We get to the World 600, the Coke 600, whatever you want to call it. It was a good race. It was a good race up until then. Charlotte in this Gen 6 car, the new Gen, Gen 7 car, excuse me, new Gen, whatever you want to call it, is really good. It's a really good combination. And then at lap 249, the rain came. Red, he finished 18th. So you're close, but yeah, it was 18th. He had a great run. To finish 18th, finish top 20 in your first ever IndyCar race, the Indy 500, yeah, that's a great run. It's a great run. Was in the top 6 all day. Great run. Coke 600, rain delay at 249 of scheduled 400 laps. It's from the rumors that I'm seeing, it was Fox's call to cancel the race, to call it at the point that it was at. From what I've heard, they were about 15 minutes away from the track being raceable. But from what it sounds, Fox did not want to go that late into the evening. At which point I say, it is Memorial Day weekend. Monday is a holiday. Run the rest of the race on Monday. Finish that race. The Coke 600 is a crown jewel in NASCAR. For it to ever be thought of to be rain shortened is a mistake. It deserved to finish out. And I hate it for Kyle. He had just gotten there whenever the lightning delay started. Justin Allgaier drove his ass off in that number 5. Drove his ass off. Was running 13th whenever Kyle Larson got there. Nobody expected Allgaier to be that quick. Red, so how it was pertained to, how it was shown to me in some reports is that NASCAR was ready to go, but Fox basically said, we're going off the air. That we're done. We're not going to run into the wee hours of the morning. At that point here, it was close to midnight, if not midnight already. And that's basically what they said. Not sure if it's true. That's what I've heard through the channels that have gotten me this information. The good thing about it, one of my guys won, and I should be happy about that but I'm not. I'm glad that absolutely red, probably. I'm glad that Christopher Bell picked up the win. He needed that win. It secures his spot in the playoffs, and I think Christopher Bell is making the best of a bad situation over there at Joe Gibbs. I think he might possibly be the fourth rung on that 4-team scale. And because we all know Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs are their number one priority, then I think it's Martin Truex Jr., and then I think it's Christopher Bell. And Christopher Bell is winning despite Joe Gibbs. His contract is up soon. If it's not this year, it's next year. And I could see him going somewhere else. I kind of hope he does. I would love to see him at RFK. Because I think Keselowski has turned that team around, and they're going to be a constant winner going forward. But all this to say, I think Larson is going to try to run the 1100 next year. I think Kyle Larson is going to be in Indy and Charlotte next year. So, Red, let's talk about that real quick. Kyle, part of his deal is that he can go run pretty much anything as long as it doesn't conflict with the NASCAR. And that's one reason why High Limit runs so many races the same weekends as NASCAR in surrounding areas, because then he can go run, with them, blah, blah, blah. Joe Gibbs does not allow their drivers to run anything else during the year, during the NASCAR year. So that's one reason I think Bell needs to get out of a Joe Gibbs car. I think he needs to. I would love to see him be in the 48 at Hendrick. I would love for him to be in a potential third car with RFK. Trackhouse, they're probably going to get a charter, but that's not a good landing point for him. I would like to see him in 23 XL. That would be a good fit. I think 2311 Racing would be a good fit. Just with the Toyota presence, they are a tier 1 team. And I think they've got better equipment than what the 20 has. If he can go and have the same kind of equipment that Tyler Reddick has, Christopher Bell's a champion. Christopher Bell is a champion. But let's move on. I all that to say, I also wish that Bell was able to run more races. Real quickly, in the sad news here, Stewart Haas Racing announced yesterday they will shut down following the 2024 season. Everyone has been on Stewart. Everyone's been on Stewart for not being into NASCAR as much. Let me pull up this comment that Red just gave. Should that not be the driver's choice? Essentially, driver taking risks. Yes, but you got to remember, this is an investment for these team owners. Christopher Bell is a Joe Gibbs investment. He pays him very handsomely to race the number 20 car. He does not pay him to race a sprint car. And so, as we've seen in the past, if a driver gets injured off the track, it's not really a happy time. And that's Joe Gibbs' stance on it, is that if you drive for Joe Gibbs, you're not racing anywhere else but a Joe Gibbs race car on Sundays, on Saturdays, whatever series you're put in. So Joe Gibbs just has that stance. You're not allowed to go race somewhere else because I'm paying my money for you to drive my race car, and you're not going to go get hurt in anything else. If you get hurt in my race car, then that's a different story. But that's basically how Joe Gibbs views it. I disagree. I think it should be the driver's choice, but I also understand the owner's side. I think going out and running other places just keeps you sharper. Going and running other forms of auto racing, it keeps the driver sharper. And I think it should be allowed, but hey, I'm not Joe Gibbs, and I don't have the multi-million-dollar organization that he has. So Tony Stewart and Gene Haas made the difficult decision to close Stewart Haas Racing at the conclusion of the 2024 season. The rumor is Tony Stewart has been trying all year to keep this team together, but Gene Haas no longer has any interest in NASCAR, is what has come out. Gene Haas just wants to go run his F1 team and be done, that be it. This is huge for silly season because this opens up a lot of drivers for seats. The biggest being Chase Briscoe and Noah Gragson. Chase Briscoe, proven winner in the Cup Series. Rumor is he's going to the 21 car of Wood Brothers Racing. I think that's a great fit. I think he can win a lot of races for them. I think they can finally get that 200th win with Chase Briscoe. They're not going to get it with Harrison Burton, that's for sure. Noah Gragson is a very interesting one. He is a very good driver, and he has the sponsorship behind him that he could basically pick up pretty much anything that he wants. There's a rumor that he's going to RFK's third car, but also there's a rumor he's going to Front Row Motorsports. I think Front Row would be a good fit for him with his sponsorship behind him. Front Row has already proven that they can run up front. They just needed someone other than Michael McDowell. And I think he's going to fit that Michael McDowell shoe. I think that's where Gragson's going next year, is the 34 car. Josh Berry, another really good talent. I think you'll see him maybe at like a Spire. I think he'll go down to a smaller team. We'll see what where he goes. Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece is the odd man out. That guy's going back to Xfinity. There's no way that he'll stay in Cup. He's not proven himself. He's been borderline abysmal in that 41 car. I don't think Ryan Preece will be in Cup next year. They've got some really great crew chiefs over there that are about to get paid. That's all I'm saying about that. There's some guys over there that are going to get paid big money to be crew chiefing elsewhere next year. But out of that 4-car team, I think that's where these guys are going. I think you're going to see Briscoe go to the 21, Gragson to the 34. You might see Josh Berry go over to Front Row as well. I think Ford wants to keep these guys. I know they really want to keep Briscoe. If I was them, I'd want to keep Gragson. Gragson is going to be a big name in Cup. He's already impressed this year behind the number 10 car. This is going to open up a lot of charters too. I think 3 of them are already spoken for. I think we're going to see RFK, Trackhouse, and who was the other one that is the big rumor right now? Front Row pick up 3 of these charters. That'll leave another one, but this is about to tank the charter price because 4 of them just came available, and they're not going to go for top money. They're not going to go for the $40 million that some of the lower charters have gone for in the past. I would be willing to say maybe $20 million is the ceiling on those. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes from here. If you see something about Junior Motorsports buying one of these charters, just know that it's most likely fake. Junior has said that he's not going to just buy up a charter without, extreme help. I think you're going to see Junior Motorsports buy into another team. I could see Junior Motorsports buying into Spire, personally. They've got the alliance with Rick Hendrick. And it would be a great spot for some of his drivers to land. So that's all I've got for y'all today. It's been a great episode. I got a little fired up there early on. Don't forget to like and subscribe here and on YouTube, on Facebook and on YouTube. YouTube at Monstar Pro, Facebook the Inside Berm Podcast. The likes and the shares help so much. They help so much. They help us get this to a new stratosphere, and that's what we're trying to do with this. Go buy your Victory Fuel. Use code Monstar Pro for 10% off your total order. Buy up your State Fair Speedway shirts, and we'll see you Saturday at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. You guys have a great night.